Studio Ghibli time! Hey guys, this is Morgan with the Rotoscopers, and today I am giving you my review of the Blu-ray for the Tale of Princess Kaguya. So this is what the Blu-ray looks like. I didn't get to do an unboxing of it, so I'm going to do a quick one right here for you guys. So the cover right here has obviously Princess Kaguya right here. As you know from the movie, she's looking through blinds. So if you were looking at this cover thinking, I don't know what's happening, she's looking through blinds. And this movie is just so incredible. I'll talk about it in a bit. Here is the back. So what you are going to get inside, but you'll get a little insert talking about Song of the Sea, which is also distributed by Universal. You're going to get a Blu-ray disc, and then inside you're getting two DVDs. One is the movie on DVD, and then the other one is a bonus disc. It's called Isao Takahata and His Tale of the Princess Kaguya. And it's basically a documentary, a very long documentary about the making of the film. Studio Ghibli releases are very great about these documentaries about their making of, so I thought that was really cool that it was included. It gets its very own thing. It's because it's feature length. It's very long, but very good. So the story of Princess Kaguya tells the story of this little girl who is found in a bamboo shoot, and she's found by a bamboo cutter and his wife, and they begin to raise her as her own. But then one day while cutting bamboo, her father finds some gold and very rich silks in a bamboo shoot, and he takes this as a sign from the gods that she is a princess. He's called her princess this whole time, but she needs to be raised in the ways of a princess. So he then uproots the family, takes her to the capital, and then starts raising her as a princess. And then he begins to create this story that she is a princess, that she is the most beautiful being to ever walk the planet, and the suitors start coming. So that's kind of where the movie picks up, but then still as I'm watching this movie, I'm thinking to myself, where's the conflict? I'm not quite sure where this is going. That's not a bad thing, it's just a different way of telling a story. I've heard this story kind of equated to Bambi. Bambi doesn't tell a very hard story, it's just a story about growing up, and it doesn't have too many plot devices or tension or conflict. It just sort of happens. And at the very end, there is something that kind of changes everything. And I felt the same way with Princess Kaguya. There is sort of a few main things at the end that really take this in a different direction, and you're like, oh, okay, now I see the conflict. But up until that point, it isn't very clear. When people use masterpiece, they are not kidding. This film is beautiful. It's a 2D animated film, which is something we don't see very much anymore, but Studio Ghibli has very consistently stuck to the 2D medium. And what I loved about this is it just wasn't your traditional 2D. It was so different. It was a mixture of watercolors and graphite pencils. The actual animation is very sketchy, and it's not unfinished, but it's just a different feeling. There's a bit of rawness to it when you're watching it and you're seeing the characters move. It's very artistic in a way because we don't see that too often in animated films. I loved how they were able to use this to express emotion. When everything was happy and fine, the line was very precise. And when things became very serious and emotional and drama-filled, the line became very sketchy, very bold. It was just like a big across, representing just generic shapes. One scene that stands out to me in the whole film, it's where Princess Kaguya, it's kind of her coming out party, and this frustrates her very much because she's not even allowed to go see people or meet people. She has to hang out in a room, and finally she just can't take it anymore, and she runs away. And then as she's running, her hair's just going everywhere, and she has all these robes on, and robes are flying off each other, and you just see she's way in the distance, and you just see robe after robe after robe coming off, and then she's running in the forest, and it's just, you don't see very much color. It's grays, it's whites, it's blacks, and then just this pop of red for her skirt. Her hair is going, it's so good. To me, that was the moment in the film where I'm like, wow. Alright, so let's talk about the bonus features real quick. We got the Japanese trailers and TV spots, and then we also get the English trailers. And that was really interesting to compare the two. I was really surprised though with the English, there's no dialogue. Very interesting for an English trailer that there wasn't any sort of voiceover. And then the Japanese trailers, they have a song. It's very lyrical and completely different. There was one trailer that just focuses on the baby scene. That was it, said the Tale of Princess Kaguya, and they just showed her as a baby and the family just sort of doing their everyday things. It wasn't too compelling for me, but I'm an American, so I can't really speak to that. The next bonus feature, we get the announcement of the completion of the film. This is basically a taping of the press conference where the studio said our film is done, and they answer questions about it. They bring some of the actors on stage. Again, it's not super compelling, but nonetheless, this is something you don't see in an American release of a DVD, especially when a film is completed. I don't think we really get the announcement that like, yay, it's done. I think with a lot of American films, they have a date and they have to finish 2 months before to send it to be distributed and whatnot. It's not sort of this big event, so that was really cool to see. Alright guys, I'm going to give the movie 4.5 stars. I was blown away by this movie, and I don't know why it took me so long to watch it. So for you, if you've been kind of like, I'm interested in this, or even not interested in this, shape up, because it's so good. You gotta check it out. Gotta buy this Blu-ray. As for the bonus features, I thought they were okay. It's your very typical Studio Ghibli stuff. You have a making of documentary, you have some trailers, and then a press conference. So nothing revolutionary, but then again, since this is produced in another country with kind of different standards when it comes to, you know, bonus features and whatnot, I'm very satisfied. I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars because it's just typical Studio Ghibli bonus features. Alright guys, that's all I have for this, my review of the Tale of Princess Kaguya Blu-ray. Definitely check it out. I highly recommend it. I was so blown away with this film, and I'm very happy to own it now. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And until my next Blu-ray review, I'm Morgan, and this is the Rotoscopers YouTube.